been in this game long enough, I've been training naturally, and I've worked with dozens of models, actors, some of the most aesthetic men that I've ever been around. And there was a period where I felt absolutely awful. I was foggy every morning, I was very soft around the middle section, and kind of like tired by 2 p.m. You know, I was training hard, eating well, doing everything right on paper, and I still felt like shit. And it took me years to figure out why. And when I did this, literally everything changed. Because a lot of guys, they seem to be playing the wrong game, whether that be a stricter diet, more sessions, better macros, and not really going anywhere. Because the problem was never actually the training, right? Your body has one priority, and that's survival. So when your stress is chronically elevated all the time, your body will do everything that it can to just keep you alive, right? Not lean, not jacked, just alive, right? It holds fat, it tanks testosterone, it kills libido, it destroys sleep. And the worst part is, the harder that you push, the worse it gets. And I see this constantly with the guys that I work with. They're very driven, very ambitious, they're very disciplined, and they're doing everything right on paper, but they're inflamed, they're bloated, they're running on caffeine and willpower all the time. And this isn't because they're lazy, it's because their body is in this survival mode, right? And nobody told them that. So cortisol is your primary stress hormone, right? Short term, it's absolutely fine. It wakes you up, it gives you that sharper focus, and it gets you moving. But the problem is that modern life keeps it so elevated all day long, whether that be overtraining, poor sleep, constant stimulation. You get these blood sugar crashes, you get work stress, right? Relationship pressure, and your nervous system can't tell the difference between a deadline and a flipping lion outside, right? The response is identical. And when the cortisol stays high, everything downstream suffers. So testosterone drops, right? Your gut health collapses. I've been there. Fat storage increases, especially around that midsection. And then it's catch-22, right? Your sleep gets worse, which then raises your cortisol further, which then decreases your testosterone. And it's just like a cycle, a spiral. And a lot of men don't even realize they're in it, right? I was in it with 16 years experience behind me. At some point, I stopped asking, how do I look better? And started asking, why do I actually feel like this? And that mindset shift changed everything, because your physique is a byproduct of your health, right? It's not the other way around. So if you look in nature, a healthy animal looks healthy and a stressed animal looks super stressed. And we're exactly the same. When your gut is inflamed, when your hormones are suppressed, when your liver is sluggish, estrogen builds and the testosterone will clear slowly. It's the same with thyroid. If your thyroid is underactive, your body compensates with these stress hormones, right? It's one system, not separate problems. So fixing the surface, the training, the macros, whilst ignoring all the stuff underneath, this is probably what's keeping you stuck, right? So if we talk about the gut, your gut controls your testosterone production. And most guys, they have no idea when your gut lining is compromised, endotoxins get into your bloodstream directly. And then eventually those endotoxins activate your stress response, right? Your cortisol then goes up, your testosterone goes down, and all this inflammation spreads around the body, right? You can eat the cleanest food in the world, but if your gut isn't absorbing it properly, it really doesn't matter, bro. So you've got to fix the gut first, and then everything else gets easier. So this is simple. Thyroid, right? It sets your metabolic rate. Your low thyroid means low energy production. And your body compensates with cortisol and adrenaline just to keep you functioning. And a lot of guys that I see with this low thyroid, they get told that their bloods are normal, but bloods don't tell you the full story. So you need to be checking your waking temperature. This should be at 36.6 degrees to about 36.8. Most ambitious guys are just stuck in this fight or flight, literally every single day, whether that be email notifications, text messages, the caffeine, the training on top of a very overloaded stress bucket already, and your nervous system never, ever gets time to switch off. And a nervous system that never switches off never builds the body that you want, right? So this recovery, this isn't laziness. This is actually part of the game as well. So 3 things in order. First is eliminate. Before you add anything, stop what's actually driving the problem. So very simple things like seed oils out. This is a non-negotiable. They're going to drive inflammation at a cellular level, and they will directly suppress hormone production. So things like caffeine after 90 minutes of waking, let your cortisol peak naturally first, right? Training volume, you can cut that down if your stress is already high, right? A brutal session on top of this very high stress environment is just going to make everything worse. So on top of that, with constant stimulation, put your phone away, do not disturb if you can. And your nervous system, it needs this rest. Second thing, the rebuild. Food quality over everything. Raw dairy, fruit, eggs, animal fats, saturated fats, real food that your body actually recognizes, right? No seed oils, of course. And then don't forget sleep. This is the biggest lever that a lot of guys ignore. So consistent wake times, cool dark rooms, right? Morning sunlight within the first hour of the day. This is going to reset your cortisol rhythm, which resets literally everything else. So get outside, walking every day. This is not optional, right? I walk every morning along the South Downs before I literally do anything else. And it shifts you out of that fight or flight. And the best thing about it is free, right? It doesn't cost anything. And this is the most underrated thing that I do. And then supplements worth taking: magnesium, thiamine, taurine, K2, and you see all these influencers pushing out this random stuff, but you don't need more than that. And those basics will support the mitochondria, and they'll help with this liver function as well. Third is to align, right? Your body evolved with sunlight during the day, and darkness at the nighttime as well, and movement in between, to have this stillness, to have real food coming in. And this modern life is completely the opposite of that. And when you start living closer to your biology, your cortisol is just going to regulate itself. Every client that I've taken through this properly has seen the exact same shift with all this stuff. It's not just the physique, bro. It's getting the energy back, the focus back, the libido back, and actually just waking up without an alarm, actually feeling rested. And the body follows this when the system underneath is fixed. And this is just the law of nature. If this resonated, I work with a small number of men through this exact process. This is not just some ChatGPT generic plan. This is the full system: body, hormones, energy, mindset, built around your life. So the link's in the description if you want to have a conversation. If you're not ready for that, just subscribe, like this video. I'm going to be putting out videos like this every single week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.